Maybe that's good when I got to speak, huh? You know, this is very dangerous, me coming back here and being allowed to speak. I don't get the opportunity to get one of these mics in front of me too often anymore. My colleagues have given you an overview of what's happening to the farming industry over the last 20, 30 years. And it is one of the industries that is actually growing in the state of Rhode Island. And for that, we thank you. I mean, you were the guys that enacted some of this legislation that Bill and others have worked on over the years, and have helped protect our industry and actually got it to grow. I'm here because I oppose the type of tax increase that you're talking about today. To me, this is the most ill-conceived and anti-productive type of legislation that you possibly can be considering. I was happy to see, and I'm talking a little bit about other things besides agriculture, and I'll get to some of that later, but I was glad to see someone, I think it was Gary Sass, talk about the structural deficit. It may have been somebody else. But when you look at those numbers, you've got to come to the conclusion that this is not going to help our long-term situation. We've got to do something else. Now, I don't know exactly what that is. Could be cutting spending, might be reducing some areas, but there's got to be different alternatives than raising taxes. A couple of other observations. I was listening to some of the people talk prior to me coming up here. And first of all, you know, anybody that tells me that 1% tax increase across the state of Rhode Island isn't going to have an adverse effect on business, I think they must be a customer of one of these new centers that you just enacted a while back, because it's just anti what normal people would think. 1% is going to hurt. You can talk to farmers all over this state and business people all over this state. Anytime you decrease what they're getting by 1% or having to pass it on, it's going to have an adverse effect. Someone else was saying something about the tax being, I guess it was Governor Leach, the tax having a sunset clause. Well, some of you guys have been around here as almost as long as I was. How many sunset provisions have you seen go away? I haven't seen too many. In fact, the one I did see was sunsetted, and that stuck around right until now. Here's another thing that I thought was funny in listening to some of the testimony. Don't know who said it. They said they were going to tax digital downloads. What are we going to hire, 1 million people to run around and check people's computers to see if there's a digital download going on? This is absolutely ludicrous. I would suggest to you, ladies and gentlemen, there's no good time to have a tax increase. It's what has gotten us to the point we are now, in my opinion. But the worst of times is when everybody is suffering as we are. I would have maybe applauded this if it had gone the other way and said, let's take some of these taxes off and see how many people came back to the state of Rhode Island to make their purchases. But I haven't heard that yet. In any case, in closing, I would hope that you consider this, but I hope you reject it, and let's move on to more productive things that we can do for the economy in the state of Rhode Island. Thank you.
Thank you very much. You may proceed, sir.